Right, first of all, let me introduce you to the needles. There are many kinds, so first we will start with the 3-round liner needle. Now, a 3-round liner needle, the standard size is a 0.35, and most of you tend to use them soldered back from the point 3mm. But this lends itself to a very tight line, and a lot of guys prefer a bit looser line. Therefore, we can solder these back 4mm or 5mm or even 6mm if you wish, but with 6mm you'll probably find that you will get on the skin a thing called tram lining, which is where 2 needles will open up and leave 2 lines, and the third one will miss altogether. So the majority of them are soldered back maximum at 5mm from the point. Now, a 3-round liner needle can come in various thicknesses of diameters. The smallest being 0.02, and from there it goes up to a 0.040. There is also a 0.050, which is very, very thick. Some American artists still use this needle, but we don't produce them very much, but we do have them. Now, back to the diameters again. The average size is a 0.35. Some artists use a 0.30 as their standard and don't move much from that. But of course then you have to consider the taper. Now, the taper of the needles can vary from a short taper to a medium taper to a long taper to a double long taper, an extra long taper and a super long taper. The short taper is usually 1mm in length, and the super long is 5.5mm. Now, if you can imagine a long taper and you solder back only 3mm, you will get a very short amount of point into the skin and you will get an even line. The further back you solder, you will still get an even line, but it depends on the power of your machine. And the further back you solder, the more the needles will open up when you are working, if you are working with a heavy machine. So that's basically it. But they're also, the length of the needle, the total length is 31mm, and they're soldered onto the bar at 8mm, but they can be soldered to accommodate any length of working. But nowadays, because everything is standardized, the lengths are of a standard size for everybody, but we can make them whichever length you want. Now let us go on to the very long tapers, the 5.5. On a 3-round liner needle, the 5.5 tapers are used mainly for very fine work and for portrait work and for intricate work. Providing you don't go too deep in the skin, then the line will stay at the diameter of the needle you're using. If you're using a 0.20, then it will be a very fine line. If you're using a 0.40, it will be a thicker line, but it will still be neat and you'll have no spread. Now, a lot of you are already using needles that are manufactured in China. Now, what happens with the Chinese is they do tend to copy. Now, if you look on the side of the box, it says quality needles, often copied but never beaten. What happens is with Chinese needles is they copy what is on the paper, but they don't copy what is on the bar. They just produce standard needles, and many of you are using a standard needle. Therefore, in theory, your work never varies, but you never get any variation in your work neither. You think, I want a thin needle, but you haven't got a thin needle. So we can offer you the specialist sizes. Now, when you come on to